This year on January 7th, we celebrate the Feast of the Epiphany. Epiphany comes from the Greek word epiphania, which means a manifestation or a showing. And so we see that God continues to show himself to us in the child of Jesus. And in fact, the whole world runs to see this child, and we see that personified in the three magi who come to give him gifts. This is a continuation of the season of Christmas. We continue to meditate and celebrate what it means that God became one of us. There's a unity now between heaven and earth, and it comes in the person of Jesus Christ. When the three magi come and encounter this gift of God, what's the first thing they do? They prostrate themselves because God is God and we are not, and then they give gifts. And I love that at the season of Christmas, it's natural to give gifts to each other. When we do that, we're imitating the gift-giving of God. When God gave us Jesus, it's a self-gift. God gave us part of himself, his own son. And so our response is, in turn, we want to give back to God. So we try to give our lives to God. Anytime we give gifts, we're imitating God, and that's a good way to be. The Feast of the Epiphany in some parts of the Catholic world is more important than Christmas, because Epiphany celebrates many things. And in some parts of the world, this day celebrates the three magi who come to the Christ child, the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan, and also the wedding feast at Cana, the first miracle that Jesus performs in the Gospel of John, changing water to wine. All of those mysteries help us understand, who is this child? Who is this God who came down to become one with us? One of the images of this feast day is that of light. There is now a light has come into the world. Remember the days of Advent, there was darkness. Now we have passed the winter solstice, so every day there's a little bit more light in the world. That helps us understand what Christ brings. If there's a part of your life that is dark, Christ is the light. He is the only one who will brighten that. And another image of this day is that of a bridegroom and his bride. God came down in the form of Jesus at a bridegroom, and we are the bride. He wants to wed us and become one with us. And we find that in morning prayer for this day, the Feast of the Epiphany. We hear in the antiphon for this day, "Today the bridegroom claims his bride, the church. Since Christ has washed her sins away in Jordan's waters, the Magi hasten with their gifts to the royal wedding, and the wedding guests rejoice, for Christ has changed water into wine. Alleluia." All of those mysteries help us understand God's desire for us. And at Epiphany, after the Magi encounter the Christ child, there's a small detail that says, they went home by a different way. That's what happens after you meet Jesus. He changes your life. Everything is different, and when you leave, you're different. And so, as we continue to encounter Christ in his mystery at Christmas time, let him change you so that your life can be different, living with his light.